What is power? Power is the rate of doing work. Power is given by W by T. As the temperature increases, electrons move faster. While they move faster, they collide with the positive ions which are in the conductor. So the resistance also increases. To understand this, again consider the resistivity expression. Resistivity is equal to M by N E square tau. Hello dear students, I am Maitri, Faculty of Physics, Vidyashram, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. We will continue our discussion on the chapter 3, current electricity, which has very high weightage. And in this session, we will know the limitations of Ohm's law. What are the limitations of Ohm's law? And you know what is Ohm's law? Ohm's law is given by V is equal to IR, where V is directly proportional to I. For this, R must be constant. Yes, this is the condition. So keeping this in mind, let us discuss the limitations of Ohm's law. So for which V is directly proportional to I, there Ohm's law is valid. So the first limitation is Ohm's law holds good for metallic conductors. Means in the conductor, V is directly proportional to I and R remains constant. The next limitation is Ohm's law is not applicable for non-ohmic devices. You know what are non-ohmic devices? Non-ohmic devices are the devices which do not obey Ohm's law, and the examples are semiconductor and transistor. These are the two limitations. The third limitation is Ohm's law is not applicable at very low and very high temperature. Why it is not valid at very low and very high temperature? Let us know this. So when the temperature increases, as the temperature increases, kinetic energy of the free electron increases. This kinetic energy increases the resistance. Means as the temperature increases, electrons move faster. While they move faster, they collide with the positive ions which are in the conductor. So the resistance also increases. According to Ohm's law, R must be constant. Therefore, it is not valid for high temperature. Same way, it is also not valid for the temperature that is at very low temperature, because as the temperature increases, resistance decreases. These are the three limitations of Ohm's law. The first limitation only valid for metallic conductors, not valid for non-ohmic devices, and it is not applicable at very high temperature and very low temperature. Now let us discuss this effect of temperature on resistivity. Effect of temperature on resistivity. Or let us discuss how the resistivity varies with temperature. To know the effect of temperature on resistivity, I consider the expression of conductivity. We have derived this in a previous session. Conductivity is given by N E square tau by M. The reciprocal of conductivity is resistivity. So, resistivity is equal to M by N E square tau, where M is the mass which remains the constant. M is mass of the electron, constant. N is the number of electrons, and E is the charge of electron, which is also constant. And now what the variables we have is N and tau, where M and E are constant variables. First, let us consider the metals or the conductors. In conductors, number of free electrons are more. As they are more in number, N also constant in metals. So we have three constant in this, M, E and N. You have to keep in mind, I am discussing the metals. In metals, N is also constant. And as the temperature increases, the tau, which is nothing but relaxation time, decreases because the kinetic energy of electrons increases. Now, as the relaxation time decreases, resistivity of the metals increases. Resistivity of the metal increases. Therefore, when the temperature increases in the metal, the resistivity increases, and that resistivity is given by the expression. Resistivity is represented as rho. Rho at any temperature is equal to rho at reference temperature, and in the bracket 1 plus alpha of T minus T naught. What is this rho? Rho is the resistivity at any temperature, and rho naught is the resistivity at reference temperature or initial temperature. This is final temperature, and here the alpha is the temperature coefficient of resistivity, whose SI unit is, let us rearrange this in the form of alpha, then you get rho T minus rho naught divided by rho naught of T minus T naught. So from this expression, you come to know the SI unit. The SI unit is per Kelvin. SI unit of temperature coefficient is per Kelvin. And what is temperature coefficient? Temperature coefficient is the change in resistivity per unit resistivity and per unit rise in temperature. Per unit rise in temperature, what is the change in resistivity per unit resistivity is nothing but temperature coefficient. And let us know the graph for the materials like nichrome, manganese and constantan, which are alloys. For the alloys, the resistivity and the temperature graph is given here. See, as the temperature increases, resistivity increases in the conductors. So, this is the graph for the three materials, and you have another graph which is in your textbook, that is copper. For the copper, even as the temperature increases, resistivity increases, but the graph what you have to show is curve. And you have to mention the axis. So along x-axis, you have to consider the temperature, and along y-axis, resistivity, and show as the temperature increases, resistivity increases. These are the two graphs which you have to practice. And the next one is semiconductor. Variation of resistivity with the temperature of semiconductor. To understand this, again consider the resistivity expression. Resistivity is equal to M by N E square tau. And in this expression, M, E is constant. Now, in the semiconductor, the number of electrons for the conductivity are less. As the temperature increases, this number of electrons available for the conductivity increases. As N increases, then resistivity decreases in semiconductor. Therefore, resistivity of a semiconductor decreases with increase in temperature, and the nature of graph is here. So along the x-axis temperature, along the y-axis resistivity, and show as the temperature increases, resistivity decreases by drawing the curve. Yes, sir. Next, we will discuss the power. What is power? Power is the rate of doing work. Power is given by W by T. W is work with respect to time. W is nothing but energy. Energy per unit time is power. So, to find the expression for power, first we need to find out the work or the energy. So, for this, here is the diagram. So, conductor connected to the battery of potential difference V, and the current in the conductor is I, and consider the two end points of the conductor that are A and B. So, consider a conductor with end points A, B, in which the current I is flowing from A to B. Yes, next. The electric potential at A, let us consider it as VA, and at B as VB. Since the current flows from A to B, the direction of current is from A to B. A to B. And you know that the current flows from higher potential to lower potential. Therefore, here the potential of A is greater than potential of B. And the potential difference between these 2 points is given by VA minus VB. The potential difference is VA minus VB. And in time interval delta t, the amount of charge flowing in this, that is from point A to point B, is given by delta Q is the amount of charge, I is the current in time delta t. Next, the potential energy of the charge at A is given by, you know the expression for the potential energy which you have learned in the second chapter. The potential energy is equal to charge into potential. According to that, the potential energy of the charge at point A is VA is the potential at point A into the charge is delta Q. Same way at point B is VB into delta Q. Yes, now what is the change in potential as the current flows from one end to another end, that is from point A to point B. The change in potential is equal to final potential minus initial potential. The final potential is at point B, initial potential is at point A, which is given by VB delta Q minus VA delta Q, in which delta Q, the amount of charge is constant and the difference in the potential is VB minus VA. But the potential difference is equal to VA minus VB. Higher potential minus lower potential. But here we have VB minus VA. Therefore, delta Q into V, and here the V is minus. This is the change in potential energy. The change in potential energy is denoted as delta U, and you know the amount of charge transported from point A to point B, that is I delta T and minus V. This is the expression. So, hence the expression for change in potential energy is minus IV delta T. Here the negative sign is because of decrease in potential energy. As the charge transport from point A to point B, the potential energy goes on decreasing. As there is decrease in the potential energy, then there must be increase in the kinetic energy according to law of conservation of energy. What the law of conservation of energy states? Energy cannot be created, energy cannot be destroyed, but it can be transferred from one form to another form. Yes, the same is applied here. As the potential energy decreases means we cannot destroy it, we have to convert that into another form. So here it is converted into kinetic energy. So potential energy decrease is converted into increase in kinetic energy. So increase in kinetic energy is equal to decrease in potential energy, and this increase in kinetic energy is given by IV delta T by substituting the delta U, and this kinetic energy is greater than 0. As it is increasing, it is greater than 0. And in this conductor, the amount of energy dissipated in what form? It is in the form of heat. How the energy is lost? Let us understand this. Yes, now as the potential energy decreases, the kinetic energy of the electrons increases. So, electrons start to move faster. The electrons in the conductor start to move faster. While they are moving faster, they collide with the positive ions, immobile positive ions. When the collision takes place, the part of kinetic energy is transferred to the positive ions, and positive ions gains that energy and they start to vibrate, and they start to vibrate with more energy. As they start to vibrate with more energy, because of that, heat is generated in the conductor. So here the kinetic energy part is converted into heat. So this heat is nothing but power loss or the energy loss. Hence, delta K, that is increase in kinetic energy, is equal to work done. Work done is equal to VI delta T. And we know the definition of power. Power is equal to rate of doing work. Work is given by potential current into delta T, where delta T gets cancelled, and we have the expression for the power loss, that is VI. Using Ohm's law, that is V is equal to IR, let us substitute for the V. In the place of V, I substitute IR, then the power expression in terms of current and resistance is I square R. Now in the place of I, if I substitute V by R, then I get the power expression in terms of voltage and resistance, which is P is equal to V square by R. And we have three expressions for the power loss. One is P is equal to VI, that is in terms of voltage and current. The second one is in terms of current and resistance. And the last one is in terms of voltage and resistance. These are the three expressions for the power, and we will discuss the power loss in transmission cables. How to reduce the transmission loss or power loss in the transmission cables. Power loss in transmission cable is mainly due to resistance. Power loss in transmission cable is mainly due to resistance of the cable. For example, the power loss in the transmission cable of resistance, let us consider its resistance as R, then the power loss is given by power loss in cable is equal to current in that cable and the resistance in that cable, resistance of the cable. Consider this as equation 1. Now let us know how to reduce this power loss in cable. Power loss in cables. Suppose if you want to transfer power P to a device having resistance R. Suppose you have to transfer a power P for a device of resistance R, and the potential difference across that device is V and the current is I, then the power is given by the power which is delivered to the device is given by VI, where P is constant and voltage is constant. So I is equal to P by V. Or if you keep the power constant, when you vary the voltage, current also varies. As you increase the voltage across the device, the current decreases. As the current decreases, power loss decreases. So substitute this 2 in equation 1. In equation 1, then you get the expression for the power loss in cables is equal to P square, that is the power to be delivered, and RC is the resistance in cable, by the voltage across the device to which the power has to be delivered. Now, as this voltage decreases, power loss in the cable increases. If you increase the voltage, then the power loss reduces. So, to reduce the power loss, the transmission cables must carry high voltage. This is all about the power loss through transmission cables. So here I conclude this session. In the next session, let us have the discussion on the cells and let us know the laws, very important laws that are Kirchhoff laws, and let us derive the balance condition for Wheatstone network. Thank you.